Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's week 7. Paul and Jake here on Better Life. Paul, say hi to everyone.
Hello, how's it going? But yeah, week 7.
Dude, that
Wow.
T-shirt, what you got? What you got
So
on?
yes, this is the Henzovic Jiu-Jitsu shirt out of Chicago, Illinois. I should prove to everyone that I've got more than one T-shirt for this podcast. But yeah, it's a Jiu-Jitsu school. Valentina Shevchenko actually trained there. She did a stint for I think a month.
Just 1 month? Was she
Yeah,
just visiting?
so Valentina, it does this really cool thing where she's a globetrotter, where she
Oh.
likes to go to all sorts of schools.
Okay.
And I remember there was a long time she was in Thailand. There was a long time that she was training in Kyrgyzstan, in the mountains, and then there was a time where she spent a month training jiu-jitsu in Chicago.
Well, that's pretty
So-
sweet.
Yeah, I never got to see the champ train. It would have been cool. I was definitely looking for her, but yeah, I couldn't find her.
Well, shit happens. I mean, you got the T-shirt, so I mean, everyone at least knows you were there. Well, were you there, or did you just buy it online?
No. I was there for a tournament.
Oh, pretty sweet.
I've coached there. I've done all sorts of
Oh,
things.
is that the most recent tournament that you went to coach?
Yeah,
with your
so
buddy?
that was
Dude,
in November.
Tell me
I
about
went
it.
with my
We
cousin.
never talked about it.
Oh, my cousin was competing, and due to COVID, we've got a lot of restrictions, and like a lot of competitors didn't want to go. And this was November. Like this is a different time than it is now.
Yeah.
And like there were no vaccines. Like people were still getting rapid tested, and
Yeah.
all sorts of things. And you had to weigh in. Like there was a weight cutting issue. Like there were people that were concerned about cutting weight. Like what if I cut weight and get sick?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
But I went. I've got my EMT background, so my cousin wanted me there, and I went there, and yeah, it was cool. He did well.
I don't think it was just your EMT background. I think it might have to do with your black belt and shit. But yeah, the EMT definitely is good too. But I don't think that's. I don't think he
man.
was like, I'm going to a fucking jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah,
Who should I call up? My EMT. I think it's because you have the black belt. I think that's more what happened. It was the black belt came in.
Well, dude, it gets gnarly at those tournaments,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
The jiu-jitsu tournaments, especially in gi competition, like it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
we
your
were talking
fingers-
about gi and non-gi. We didn't talk about it on the air. So like, what was the key differences you were talking about with that?
Well, like from a personal standpoint, like it hurts, man. Like the gi, your fingers get caught in weird ways, and there are guys you'll like train with like blue belts and people that have done it for like a year, and you're wondering where their grip strength is from,
Okay.
and it's just that 1 year, and then you train with a black belt who's a shark, and you're like, God, I'm never gonna catch him, and like. If you talk to anyone who does jiu-jitsu on a regular basis, they're going to have horror stories of the injuries they have. And that's literally because the gi is it's so thick, it's like grappling with
Okay.
a winter jacket on.
Like having a tarp. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
do you get like? Does that make you? I guess does it make you more susceptible to like that arthritis shit in your knuckles and shit, or does that just me thinking too hard into it?
I mean, I can imagine, like, if you're a long time practitioner in gi versus a long time dude in no gi, I could imagine that. But it's a different understanding. It's very methodical
Yeah.
compared to no gi. Like in no gi, you're not supposed to slam guys, but I mean, I've seen some really illegitimate moves, pass in the IBJJF, which is the division
Yeah.
of most competitions. But anyways. Yeah, I mean, we can keep riffing on.
No, I
the
was just
jiu-jitsu
curious how the
tournament.
hell that went because I never heard of it, and then yeah, that's sweet. Was that
Yeah,
was that in Chicago proper, or was that in Gurney?
We traveled to Indiana.
Oh, okay.
For that-
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Shit.
so we that was because there was nothing going on in Illinois and nothing going on in Wisconsin. Indiana
Okay.
was the place where jiu-jitsu was happening.
Oh, okay.
So
Do you know how many
Oh, yeah.
A-10 Warthogs they have flying around those skies all the time? Like, do you know, like, the A-10s, what those are with the Air Force? They have,
Yeah.
like, it's basically a giant gun with wings on it, and then there's a
Yeah,
guy
they're
sitting
goofy
on top
looking.
of the gun. It's basically what it is. Man, they are playing in those skies all the time. I could just sit in Indiana and watch if I want. Like, I could do that all day. But that has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I couldn't believe it. We're driving in Indiana, and the signs on the side of the road are making fun of the cornfields they have.
Yeah, dude, I know.
Like they're so self-aware.
They know what they're about. They know,
Yeah.
dude. I was trained. Two of my coaches are from Indiana, from like when I was a kid, and we went there for I think nationals, or was it region? No, it had to have been nationals. We went there for nationals, and on the way through, she's like, "Oh, welcome home. There's nothing to see. No, just sleep. You can just go to bed." It's so funny. Like we leave Illinois, enter Indiana, and they're like, "All right, you can go to bed now. Nothing more to see." Except for my family is originally from like Gary, so we drove through Gary one time to go to the family reunion, and
Murder
like
capital of the world.
it was great. It was great. My uncle, as a truck driver, got out of his truck and got shot and had his loot stolen. So, straight up.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I hope he's not listening. I hope he's not listening. I'm laughing.
we keep it light here.
We keep it real. We keep it real. This is what it's about, man. This is what it's all about. I don't know a single successful fighter that came from a rich neighborhood. They came from shit like Gary. Okay, and that's where the boys are from. Shitty neighborhoods.
That's where the boys are from. But yeah, how was Nashville?
Dude, Smashville was amazing. I fucking loved it. It made Vegas look gay. 100%. It did. Vegas, I have not had that much fun since I moved here. Period.
Wow.
Nashville was way more fun. Those people there know how to have fun. Comedy was great. There was some other great comedians there, dude. There was this one kid, Kyle something. God damn, I wish I could remember his name, but he's a Chicago-based comedian, and he was down there headlining I think he was at just a club across town or something. And dude, he was so funny. He's funnier than me. He is so fucking funny. Like, I was about to piss my pants. He was so funny, man. He also took like a handful of shrooms before he went on stage, which was also like really great. He's like, "All right, let's go," and like literally ate it. Goes on stage. It's like,
my god.
It's like during the show you can see it starting to fucking roll in.
Oh no, he turned.
Okay, half of you guys are starting to look a little yellow. I'm not gonna lie, half of you guys are looking like Simpsons now. So it was great. It was good shit.
God.
It was good shit, man. So yeah, Nashville, everyone, and shout out two people in Nashville came to the show because I advertised it on my podcasting. So rock out. You guys are awesome.
Wow.
Don't know your names. I'm so sorry, but you know who you are, and that's all that matters.
That's what matters. The anonymous shout out.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. I should have gotten your names. You probably did tell me, but there were drugs. Okay, there were drugs. Not hard ones, but like marijuana is illegal in Tennessee, which means that they really know how to grow it there. And holy shit, man! First of all, everyone has weed, even though it's illegal. Like everyone has everyone. You leave the show and they're like, "Hey man, you want to smoke a joint?" Yes, I do. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Annie, so Nashville was great. I love Nashville. Yeah, I love the comedians there. I love the comedy scene. It was fucking so much fun, dude. I might
move.
I might move there. It was that
impending
fun.
Move.
I'm going back in a month, and then I'm going back in 3 months, and for unrelated reasons, I have to go there for just some family reasons. But yeah. So I'm gonna make shit obviously fit into those weekends. I'm not just gonna go and do nothing. I'll probably have shows and stuff too, which I'll tell you guys about when that happens. But I fucking loved it, man. I loved Austin, Texas. I love Nashville, Tennessee. And right now Vegas is looking pretty fucking stupid. I'm not gonna lie. It looks pretty fucking stupid right about now.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while since I've been to any of those places.
Don't even come to Vegas. All it is homeless people and poop on the streets. There's nothing here right now. There's nobody on the strip. It's boring. Most of the casinos have half the shit closed. It's like, dude, come on. You packed them all in a fucking train to get here. Like, I saw them get off of the fucking tram to get to the Mandalay Bay, and now that we're inside this giant HIPAA-filtered place, we can't, like, play slots. Like, get the fuck out of here.
What really bugged me is seeing young kids in the casino when I was playing volleyball. So you'd like, be in the strip or whatever, and whenever I saw a kid that was like my age gambling, I'd be like, oh man, what's going on?
Well, that's
and then versus like
Vegas.
Old ladies. I didn't care if old ladies were gambling.
No, the older people generally, like, the only older people that gamble here are townies. Otherwise, like, older people don't come here. They go to their like tribal casino nearby. You know, like there's a tribe nearby with a casino anywhere. You can go to that one. They don't come to these.
Okay.
You know, it's mostly younger people. It's like
Just
except for
ran
this,
into a ton of townies.
yeah, it's mostly kids who are like 18 to 25, I would say. And it's because they can smoke cigars on the floor and like drink if you're over 21 on the floor and like they want to feel like they're grown up.
All right. Well, do we want to start the show?
I mean, we might as well, right? It's been like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Let's get into it, dude.
Let's just whiz past this weekend.
Can we talk about?
It was not great.
Can we?
It was not great, and we're just gonna fly through it and forget that last week even happened. So we're just gonna have the fun stuff first. We had Canelo, and Canelo did it. The 50-1, guy. He did it within 3 rounds, and he'll make his 2-month turnaround at Cinco de Mayo against Saunders. Okay. Which is great because Saunders, that's a real matchup. He's undefeated. He's a big kid. He's like a true 168er, and yeah, I mean Canelo is globetrotting. He is taking on all contenders. He wants to unify the belts, and then after he unifies the belts, then it is time to party. That's when he can go up to 175 for nonsense. That's when he can decide, just for the fun of it. That's when he can really, like, if you think he's a king right now, like, and if you saw his walkout where they've got, like, the live music and the platforms rising, like, that is fit for a king. And,
so, question that we have to ask, just because we've been doing it every week, was the pay-per-view worth the $70?
I mean, everyone knows, like, the thing with Canelo is like, he's the face of boxing right now.
Right.
So you got to pay up. You got to pay the DAZN. You got to pay whatever he's on. And he's been really flipping all over the place because for a while he was on DAZN, which was like $5 a month. And now he's on pay-per-view. But you got to watch this guy. You don't want to be the one telling your grandkids that you didn't watch Canelo live.
Right. No, there are people who, like, I still talk to our older I didn't think Mike Tyson would do it. And it's like, now how do you feel? Like, now how do you feel? Probably pretty fucking stupid.
Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's the way that I look at the sport, but I always have, like, optimism, for fighter trajectories.
Right.
And,
you're a fighter,
you said
so
it on day
sense.
one, dude. We're athlete positive here.
Right. We are athlete positive. We're both athletes. I'm not a fighter, but I am an athlete. You're a fighter. I'm not.
Dude, I'm not, dude.
You were a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but that's a big stretch compared to a lot of guys who even have amateur records.
Right, but okay, we're not. What?
Dude, there are 10-year-olds in Thailand.
What I'm trying to say is that we're not fucking barstool sports here. Okay, we actually played the sports. We actually have some actual experience. We aren't just fat guys watching NASCAR and then bitching about it. We really do know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but there's also like a 10-year-old kid in Thailand right now doing Muay Thai, smoking a cigarette, who would take my leg home.
Who's just doing crunches and he's fucking just shadow boxing in the mirror. Yeah, no, and he would just no, I get you. I would have a broken spleen. Yeah.
but yeah, it's just I remember my initial worry was that Canelo just wasn't going to be able to make that 2-month turnaround. But no, he went out there, he 1-2'd his face off. Man, he made it look easy with those rear uppercuts. That's a disrespectful punch. That is
it's a pretty gangster punch. It's a gangster strike, dude. It really is.
It's hard to put into words when you get hit with the rear uppercut from that far away. You got to wonder what's happening.
Well, first of all, you already know you're disrespected. You don't wonder what happened there. You know that you just got basically the MMA equivalent of bitch slapped in front of your guy friends at home. Like, that is really what happened to you there. All of your boys just watched your girls slap you across the face. That's really what just happened.
But, like, I don't want to say on the heels of that, but, with that thought, dude, his coach, God bless that man for calling it quits on the stool. He asked his fighter, like, we're going to call it quits. You've got 1 round. And his fighter didn't respond to him. He's like, we're done. Like, he's not going to send him out there. That was, like, round 3. And I think he even called, in 3 rounds. But, yeah, Canelo's the man.
Yeah. Well, as of right now, he's the man. But
he's the man.
How high do you think he's going up? Do you think he's going straight to the top?
Well, what do you mean by that? Like, he is the ceiling. Like, anyone that fights on Cinco de Mayo is the king of boxing.
Is he fighting on Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, that's the scheduled date for
Is it
Billy
the
Joe
5th?
Saunders.
Wait, is it the 5th?
Yeah. That's what they're tentatively scheduled for.
Oh my god, I feel really stupid right now. I am so sorry, everyone. After just gloating about
But I mean,
we know what we're
last
talking
year-
about, and then I don't even know the date. My stupid ass.
But last year it was Tyson Fury. He came out there in the sombrero.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, dude. This is some.
Tyson Fury went out there in the poncho.
Are we allowed to show that? Can I put that up?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Probably not. I'll just. Damn,
I don't
dude.
know.
I wish that there was like easier copyright things so we could like show cool things. Remember back in the day when you could just take a video on YouTube and do a side by side and like just laugh at it and.
Oh my
And it was
gosh.
just whatever. And
Like,
now,
yeah, the React
yeah,
videos.
you can't do that shit anymore, man. You get taken down. Remember?
Oh,
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah.
you're the Shane Dawson of the world,
The
just doing the
fucking-
React videos while you're screaming in the corner.
Didn't he just like get in trouble for something? That kid.
I really don't want to get into it on
Alright,
this
let's
podcast
just
because
not.
I have no idea, and we're gonna Google it and be upset.
I'm not gonna Google it. I'm not googling it.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
the best. But
We'll move on.
yeah. So
Is there
did we
question-
already touch on the bonus thing?
I guess no, we did. But before we get to the bonus thing, I have a question about the video game, the MMA video game, or UFC video game.
Yes.
How much do the players get from that video game, or do they get anything at all, or is it like an NCAA type situation?
I think it's similar to an NCAA situation, but really I have no idea because what's insane is in EA UFC 3, Michael Chiesa had a tattoo. I think it's like a tiger or a lion or something on his ribs.
Yeah.
But his tattoo artist claimed that it was proprietary, information. Yeah, it's all like his property, and he got it removed from the game. So literally, you'd be playing Chiesa, and then the next day, the tattoo would be gone.
Why did the artist care? Wouldn't that
I
be
don't know.
like one of the dopest things to have your art in the video game?
I'm not sure.
What a fucking loser, man. Artist, if you're listening, call me up. I want to talk to you. You're a fucking idiot. It's because it's my fucking art. No, when someone buys that tattoo from you, fuck you. It's gone. If you want someone to like go get a canvas, paint it up, go sell it to a museum, and then bitch about it. Don't fucking sit there. If you tattoo like 4 dragons, like you own all those dragons. Like, so what, if the person pisses you off, you can just cut the skin off the person and hang it on the wall? Like, no. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
but yeah, I don't think they get much. But now that they're with ESPN and they've got Daniel Cormier doing the stats and everything, like Daniel Cormier is literally making phone calls to get Michael Chandler in the video game. So
hell yeah,
there's.
That's going to be dope.
Yeah, so every week or every other week, the game updates with Daniel Cormier's official rankings. It's
That's
so
fucking
funny. Like,
sweet.
and they're not only official rankings, they're stats, and they're based on like a 5-star system.
Oh, so like, hold on. So like, when you're playing, you're kind of playing like real-time stats of the athlete.
Yeah, but it's week by week.
Oh, that's fucking dope, actually. That's pretty sweet. Games, I don't know any other games that do that. They might, but NHL, all I play is NHL. I don't play any other video games.
Okay, but yeah, so to go on with the bonus. That
Yeah,
we,
let's talk about
dropped,
that bonus drama.
That's I can't remember a time when this happened. But anyways, they come out with the press conference, and I fell asleep during this card, and then woke up and saw the results. And I actually was able to watch the entire main event, but I fell asleep for the co-main event, so whatever.
Happens.
But it happens. I'm listening to the bonuses, and they give the performance of the night to the kid that won by knockout on the prelims, and then they give another bonus for fight of the night, and I'm waiting for the 4th one.
Right. And it just
Never came.
And then there's just nothing.
And I'm looking, I'm searching it, and it's not there. So did the UFC just keep that $50,000?
I think they just kept the 50K.
I think
Dana just made 50K.
There were 9 fights and 8 decisions. 1 fight went to a draw. I don't know who you would necessarily give it to. Maybe Gon, if you had to just throw the main eventer a bone. But Yeah, I mean, I feel like Gon's getting a lot of hate for no reason. Because Jairzinho Rosenstrike did his best Tyron Woodley impression, where he just backed against the cage and threw bombs, and he landed 5 punches in the 5th round. Like, for a guy who is down 4 rounds in a main event to throw 5 punches in the 5th round, like, Gon just didn't have a dance partner.
Right. Right.
So it's one of those things. Gon did what he had to win, but if you watch that first round, one of the first punches Gon lands is a really hard step-in jab, and you can just see Jairzinho's face change.
Well,
And it's just like, you didn't want it.
Well, it's just almost like when you realize, like, I don't think he thought. I don't think that the fight was what he thought the fight was gonna be. I don't think he honestly thought that it would be brought to him as much as it was. That might sound stupid to say, but like, what else would it be? Like, he just didn't show up prepared, dude.
Well, it's definitely interesting because Jairzinho for the longest time was the one puncher. Like, he one punched Andre, he one punched over him, and he loses by knockout to Francis, but it's that happens to people, and they kind of served him up, and Jairzinho just didn't want to engage, and Gon did his best. He had good grappling, he had a good guillotine attempt. Very good jab, incredible jab, because here's the scary thing, is Gon can do that to a lot of guys.
Right.
Like, if you look across the heavyweight division, it's not tough to imagine that he jabs a ton of those dudes to death. Well, and that's all it would take.
Is that all it would take? Just jabbing people?
Yes.
Why?
Because that sets up everything else.
So it's almost like a start of you're saying that that would be okay. I get it now. Because to me you were just saying he would just jab him all night and the fight would be over. And I'm saying, I don't think so. I think that they'd learn real quick that the jab is coming.
Yeah. Well, this is great. Week 7 of the podcast here, look at what Max Holloway's done. Works his entire game off the jab. Right. Dustin Poirier works the entire game off the jab and the low kick. And that combination where he literally keeps you guessing, where you have no idea if he's loading up to pop his jab or loading up to kick your calf. And, man, does that go right into our next topic. We must ban calf kicks.
We should ban calf kicks.
We must.
We should.
It has to start here, and it has to grow. And I'm of the opinion calf kicks have totally nerfed MMA.
Dude. Yes.
They've nerfed MMA,
yes,
man.
Dude.
This is, obviously, we're joking. And, the game will evolve. People will find out strategies to defend it. But, man, I can't think of a single time I've watched a fight. And it was the Rivera-Munoz fight. And within 3 minutes, Rivera was toast.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Toast. I still don't like the calf kick. Not a fan.
The problem is
I don't think you can ban it. But I don't fucking like it.
No, of course not.
I just don't fucking like it. It's cutting fights short.
What's funny is this reminds me of when John Jones was, defending his belt for the 3rd time, and everyone was talking about the side kicks, the stomps to the knee, and everyone's like, "Whoa, John's breaking people's knees." You have Rampage saying that he couldn't walk for months. He's like, he couldn't walk straight, and he blew out his knee. And then John is blowing people's knees out with these side kicks to the knee.
Right.
And then it's like, well, it didn't really work because people were getting knocked dead what they missed. So I don't know, but the calf kick, man, everyone says like turn your leg out, and it's like that's not how it works. Like, you can talk to these like kickboxing dudes and all this stuff, but it's different when you're in that bouncing stance where you can dead leg it. But if you have weight on that thing, you might be cooked.
Yeah. No, you might be Kevin Ware, 100%. You might be fucking yeah. Well,
but
I mean, for you, like, cause did you ever do kickboxing or anything like that? Yeah. You kickboxed.
Sparring, but I never had any amateur fights. But
right, but like when you get kicked like in the fucking calf, like hard as shit. Like, does it just? Because I mean, I've never fought. I don't fight. Like, I mean, I fought people like because when I was a kid, but like nothing that there's no form.
I'm very fortunate that I was, a teenager sparring in the times that this wasn't really real. So much so that, like, when people were kicking to the leg, like, you could pretty much tee off on someone's thigh and you wouldn't really feel bad about it. Like, you know, because you recover. Like, you have a bruise, but you'd be fine.
Yeah.
But, like, man, watching these dudes limp, and you've got Connor telling his coaches that he can't walk,
Yeah.
and you're like, whew, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's what we're doing in practice today?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, man,
check
if we
out-
want to go through, like, some history, like, there's a really big Rufus Sport history. So, Rufus Sport is the Anthony Pettis gym in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And it's actually Duke Rufus's gym, and Pettis is like the star pupil.
Okay.
But Duke had a brother, and his first name is escaping me, but he was one of the world's best kickboxers in the world, like a Wonderboy Thompson type guy. And he went and had a Muay Thai fight where you were allowed to kick below the waist. And it was the first time he had ever competed that way. And the first round, he's styling on this dude. Just spin kicks, axe kicks to the head, like all the flashy stuff. But the second and third round, Rufus couldn't walk.
Probably.
And he couldn't walk. And it was over. And the guy TKO'd him on the feet, knocked him dead. And then there's this interview with Duke afterwards. And Duke's saying it's unsportsmanlike. It's not very fair. He doesn't think that martial arts is about kicking below the waist. And it's like, all right, well, you know, remember how Anthony Pettis just knocked out Wonderboy like a year and a half ago? Just kicked Wonderboy in the leg, and then Superman punched him off the cage.
Just fucking got the shit out of it.
So it's like the sport is changing so fast, but the calf kick, man,
well, that's
people are going to get good at it. That's the thing.
But every sport's evolving that way. I mean, look at fucking hockey. People aren't even, like, the puck barely stays on the ground anymore. People are passing it in the air and catching it in the air.
Yeah, like, isn't that crazy to see?
People are behind the net and like fucking Michiganing the shit and like spinning it up and tossing it into the top corner of the net. Like, the game is not at all what it was with Wayne Gretzky. It's totally different, you know. And the thing that sucks is, like, I do love what Wayne did for the game, but the dude is advocating against some of the most basic principles of hockey right now. Like, he doesn't think fighting, he thinks you should ban fighting in hockey. And it's like, fuck you. The only sport left that you don't go to jail for the shit. Like, fuck you, man.
Well, it's also like, you know, in football, you could smash a guy. And I remember when they were like, you know, oh, there's a headhunting scheme in New Orleans or something, or whatever team it was. I thought
it was New Orleans. They accused them of it. There was definitely no solid evidence against them.
What's the difference? I mean, like, obviously there's like a sadistic difference. But it's like, what's the difference between that and doing film?
It's a strategy.
Like, hey, this guy's got a tendency to be blind on this side. We're going to crush him when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, like, last night I watched the movie with Adam Sandler when he went to jail and he was, like, the quarterback.
Oh, Longest Yard?
Longest Yard, the mean machine or whatever. Dude, when they were just...
Joey Diaz.
Yes, dude, Joey's in the fucking movie. Dude, when he's just rifling the football at the ref's balls and shit, like... Fuck that! They're just headhunting people, and there's like no penalties. It's like, okay, yep, that's it's one of the greatest movies of all time. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a little weird if they're handing like cash bonuses in the locker room, but it's like, I don't know. It's like I remember being in middle school, and my defensive coach is like, "Go get me that pork chop." And you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna go get that pork chop." I'm like,
I'm gonna Google that because I really don't think the whole cash bonus in the locker room thing was real. Let me look. New Orleans Saints bounty scandal.
Let me finish.
Keep going.
Other fight worth noting is the Moises versus Alexander Hernandez fight. And I thought Hernandez was going to come up big, and boy, was I wrong. Hernandez looks like he's got some style problems. Like we always say, you know, styles make fights, styles do this and that. But after that Cerrone fight, he really slowed his game out. Like, he used to come out of a cannon. Like, just bull rush dudes. Blitz them forward, never give his opponents any room forward. And he's really slowed down. And it looks like that tempo change is kind of messing with his game. And Moises just was able to lull him and bring him into the exchanges that he wanted. And, I don't know. I like Hernandez, but you can't keep taking this damage.
So, I'm reading now about the scandal, and I believe I was wrong. It looks like it's pretty much 100% settled here in court, even, that they did it. So, my apologies. I was 100% wrong. I just didn't follow up as much as I should have. That's my bad.
We are now league positive.
Well, I'm truth positive. Whatever the actual
Yes.
reality of the situation is, that's what
Yeah.
I want to know. So this happened from 2009 to 2011 in the NFL. Greg Williams, Sean Payton, Michael Ornstein, Joe Vitt, and 22 to 27 Saints players were confirmed and with beyond reasonable doubt that they did participate in a bounty scandal in which the New Orleans Saints front staff were accused of paying out bonuses and bounties for injuring opposing team players. The pool was alleged to have been an operation from Roger Goodell responded with some of the most severe sanctions in the league's 92-year history, which means, let's see, punishments, blah, blah, blah. Defensive coordinator Greg Williams was suspended indefinitely. Head coach Sean Payton was suspended the entire season, which is the first time since Chuck Fairbanks in 1978, and everyone knows about that one. The GM was suspended. The assistant coach was suspended. The organization was fined like a motherfucker. They had to give up their draft picks for 2012 and 13. Former and current Saints players were suspended as being named the ringleaders in the scandal. Linebacker Jonathan Vilma was suspended for the entire 2012 season. Former Commissioner Paul Talabou overturned all sanctions against the players in December 2012 after finding that despite the players being very much involved, the coaches and Saints organizations were primarily... So the players basically got away with it after being found guilty anyway.
Yeah, well, wasn't that team the NFC Championship last season?
I mean, wait, when you... last season, you're talking in current day means? Or as in...
Yeah.
Okay, yes. 2 years
yeah.
ago. Not
So,
last season, the season before last season.
Yeah, because I remember Brady, stomping those guys this past season.
Yeah.
And then them also going far in the playoffs
Yep.
and losing to somebody. So, what exactly happened to them?
With what happened with the Saints? What do you mean?
They're a still wildly successful franchise.
I mean, but yeah, I guess I don't know what you mean. What happened with them? They just kept going.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Their
They
fans
just
didn't
kept
care.
going.
Their fans didn't give a shit. I mean,
Sean Payton just took a year vacation, came home, victory lapped that thing.
okay. Actually, I want to read this. After.
What?
Oh my god. Oh my lordy. This is a lot of shit. This is.
Well, yeah,
This is
they'll make a movie about it.
insane. This is actually insane. I mean, the amount. There's a documentary filmmaker. I'm working on one right now, actually. So there you go.
Get that guy on your podcast.
I'll talk to him. Yeah, he seems like a reasonable person.
Yeah, do it.
He doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so he's not
let's,
that fun.
Let's get to this upcoming weekend because this is the
okay.
why we do this podcast.
Are we going to talk about Muhammad Edwards first?
No, we're not.
Why?
No,
Fine.
because I am full steam ahead.
Okay.
On Adesanya versus Blachowicz.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else. I'm at work in meetings thinking about this.
You have way too important of a job to be thinking about this in those fucking meetings, Paul. I don't want you thinking about this shit in your meetings.
No. I mean, of course, I'm sarcastic.
I know.
That's
I'm
all
not
a joke.
accusing you of shit. That's funny. It's
But
just
yeah,
funny.
this is like, you find yourself wondering, is he gonna be so we've had champs before, right? We've had Connor, the champ, the original champ,
Right.
but we've also had BJ Penn was a champ. Not consecutively. We had George St. Pierre, champ, not consecutively. You can make the case for Randy Couture. But if we look at contemporary, what's happened in the last few years, they've all been reasonable weight moves. Cejudo, 10 pounds from 125 to 35. Nunez, 10 pounds, 35 to 45. Connor, 10 pounds. Daniel Cormier, you could make, 205 to heavyweight, but
Right.
he just didn't cut weight. But this is the first one, unless I'm obviously missing something. This is 20 pounds, 85 to 205. That's a big weight difference.
Yeah.
Izzy's going to show up after eating a hamburger at 205 pounds. And Jan is going to cut 30 pounds over the course of 6 weeks, and he might be impossible to knock out.
I don't mean to be that guy, but you've said that before with other fighters. And then what happens in the following week? We got to come on this podcast and be like, we're wrong. We had no idea. We got to come on here.
You know, I'm allowed. You know, we go on here, hold me accountable to it. But I want to see what Izzy's power is.
I mean, I don't think that he's gonna be as underpowered as you're kind of making him sound to be right now. I don't think he's gonna eat a cheeseburger and be at 205. I think he's fucking working it, dude.
Well, I mean,
he's
it's pretty
toned,
quick.
dude. He's toned. That motherfucker's toned.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's pretty fucking strong. I think that dude could definitely. I think he stands a chance.
Dude, I think you might be stunned at how big Jan is.
Well, Jan's big, but Israel's way faster.
Yeah,
way
of course.
faster.
But
and his striking distance. I mean, his reach is much smaller than Jan's. I mean, by like 2 inches.
We've had this experiment in the past, and I feel like that's the big storyline that's missing. Is Rockhold fought Jan and got destroyed, and Rockhold was way bigger of a middleweight.
Right.
And Jan just punched his chin off. And then we've seen Chris Weidman fought Dominic Reyes.
Yeah.
Weidman moves up 20 pounds. We thought he would do well. He gets murked.
He got fucked.
Anthony Smith moves up. He's had a very good career, but that's because he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's able to kind of conquer these guys that aren't as skilled as he is on the ground.
Technically, exactly.
But Thiago Santos went out there and just got worked by Glover Teixeira at 41 years old. You know, these guys just aren't big enough. And it's a real big weight difference, because Glover Teixeira at 41 years old is still a 245-pound man.
Damn.
And you've got to show up around that weight, because that 40 pounds is going to show up on fight night.
Oh, it's going to show up.
And that's what happened with Rockhold, man. He found out 6 minutes into the fight that he's really undersized.
Yeah. Well, okay, so after the weigh-in, how long is it? Like, how much weight are they going to gain after the weigh-in before the fight, do you think?
It depends on who you are. So, like, Chael Sonnen had the most epic weight cutting of all time, followed by the most hilarious way of putting it on, which is he would start camp at 230 and then weigh at 185. So it was almost like a 60-pound cut.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's
but
like
then
a
he would
human
say
person.
that after weigh-ins, he would have 2 sandwiches and 2 Cokes.
Just get filled up. Just fuck.
just two like bologna sandwiches.
I mean,
and
he just
2
needs
cans of Coke.
Yeah, he needs some sugar in that bitch. He needs some quick protein.
More like 2
carbohydrate.
liter IV bags.
Dude, I remember when I can't remember the time or whatever, but I remember when I was like super dehydrated and had to get like a field IV put in my arm. As when I was at one of the military things I was at. And do you know how good it feels to have an IV when you're dehydrated? I mean, you come back to life, man. I'm fucking... Here's how they knew I was super dehydrated. They were going to take a blood sample from me, and they were like, hey, man, you're, like, really dehydrated. Like, they're like, here's your blood. And it was, like, just a fucking, like...
Sludging.
Like, just, like, a sludge of some shit on the side. And they were like... So they just hooked me up to, like, one of those bags. And I took the whole bag like that. Like,
sucked it dry.
Just suck that bag dry, man. And let me tell you,
I remember
you come
Michael
back to
Bisping
life.
Was tweeting, "Does anyone know a paramedic to give me an IV after he had cut weight?" Like, the UFC's come a long way.
Well, I have a friend who he's super, super rich, and whenever he gets really hungover, he'll call over a nurse to give him an IV in the morning.
Man. Man.
Can you imagine? That would be so nice. You wake up, I need an IV. Just stick your arm out, and then like just the anti-hangover
I
solution.
would start training like The Rock, where I would just like work out at 4 a.m. and then just be like drain myself.
Dude,
to
have
death.
you ever seen Lindsey Vonn work out with The Rock? Dude, when I
can only imagine.
When I watch those two work out, I feel like I'm just a bitch. Like what?
A puddle.
Like I don't lift, I don't walk. Man, I might as well just give my body to someone who wants it. Because after I watch those two fucking work out, I feel like I am just a piece of garbage. I know.
Oh my god, just give it to someone who wants it. Just pack you yourself. Oh man.
Lindsay,
But
she's so powerful, man. She's so powerful.
yeah, but I mean, I'm trying to even think about it. But man, you got to think about these guys that move up in weight, especially this much. That power, man. I don't know. And Jan's the guy that does it. Like he just smoked out Rockhold, Reyes, Corey Anderson.
Yep.
Like this is a guy to not be trifled with. And
No,
if
you
Izzy
got to respect
thinks,
him. I just think that Israel's going to
Izzy
do.
got touched by Yoel and then fought defensively for 4 rounds straight afterwards.
Do you think he's going to do that again, though? Because I haven't seen him do that in past fights. He doesn't do that all the time. I mean, if he comes out on the offensive right away, like if he gets the first strike, he'll be fine.
No, and I mean, we're on MyBookie right now, and I feel like whenever Yoel is on MyBookie, the prop should be like, will Yoel explode? It's not like, will Yoel win? It's like, will Yoel explode? It's like,
well, we didn't talk about the odds yet for Jan and Izzy, so it's for Jan, it's a plus 205 in the money line with an over under of 2.5 and a minus 140 for Jan. So like as an over, so I mean,
you do the over.
You fucking absolutely do the over.
You hit the over. You hammer that thing.
This motherfucker's going to 4, in my opinion. I think it's going to 4 or 5. I don't think it's 2.5. Not for me. I don't think so. I think
we've seen Izzy have long fights with guys of less caliber. Like I don't want to say Izzy plays with his food, but his style takes some figuring out. Like he likes to leave a lot of traps, and it's not so much traps. Like he's playing chess.
It's
like some sort of chess master. It's just a tempo thing.
I think he's just seeing what someone wants to bite on and what someone's gonna like leave open. Is what he's almost doing beforehand. I mean, he's combining multiple different arts together to try to like. I mean, he might hit you with like a fucking like a right hook and then just go for the leg at like he doesn't. He does not. You don't know if he's going to strike or go for the body of the neck. You just don't know.
Yeah. I mean, man, it reminds me of one of my biggest like failures as like an MMA prospect hunter, which is Miles Jury. I thought that dude had it made because I watched his boxing and he knocked out Takanori, and his 1-2. Like a lot of people throw the 1-2, it's like 1-2,
yeah,
or like 1-2. He'd be like 1-2, 1-2, and he was throwing that thing at all different tempos. And I remember watching him. Like he had a thing of beauty in boxing, but his other skills didn't come up to par.
Well, is it his other skills didn't come up to par? Did he just stop training as hard as he used to? Because some people, when they start getting success, they don't keep it going.
Charles Oliveira.
Yes,
murdered Tony Ferguson.
Yes.
Miles Jury has a blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
That's it.
Yeah, and they fought. And I remember thinking Miles Jury had it.
I mean,
like I remember thinking Miles Jury had it in the bag against Charles Oliveira.
I mean, there's no shame in thinking that though either. I mean,
yeah, 1 first round flying guillotine later. Yeah, really nailed that one.
One flying guillotine to the face.
Yeah, really spot on prediction there. And then now he's in Bellator. Like cleaning up regional guys.
Well, at least he's doing well in Bellator. I mean, he is doing well in Bellator. So at least he's still fighting. Respect. He's doing what he wants to do. You know, it's not the UFC, but it's Bellator. It's not like it's fucking on TV. It's dope.
It is. It is dope.
We have to be on. Someone has to cast us onto their TV for us to be on TV. We don't get to we aren't programmed. We make our own channel.
See our beautiful faces. But so next fight on the card, we've got. Let's get to the more interesting one. Nunez versus Megan Anderson. Okay. Because the odds, I'm looking at these odds, and I thought I was dyslexic and I couldn't read.
I mean, okay. What we were talking about earlier too, it seems like all of Vegas is, all in on Nunez. All in.
Yeah, I mean, they should be. They should be. Minus 1,100, we get to the point where we start like getting disrespectful, especially for like what we like to talk about, because Vegas has 2 objectives, which is like they have to pick the right winner, and then they also have to get people to spend money. So that's why you have these kind of outrageous lines right now. But the over-under at 1.5 at minus 115 is madness. That is bet the mortgage on the over. Like, just sign the car lease right now. Don't even worry about it.
Just
Sign the over 1.5.
Get the Tesla. It's okay. Get the X-Wing.
Oh.
It's fine.
No, you get something filthy like a Corvette Stingray. You get something disgusting. In yellow.
I mean, you to get a Corvette, you have to have your fucking AARP card. You can't. You don't get to have.
Yeah.
You don't get to have one of those if you're young. So our listening group. If I haven't shown you the demographics, it's definitely not 55 and older. I can tell you that much right now.
Oh my god. No, I'd like to think our demographic group is a Corvette type of group.
No, our demographic are dudes in their 30s and 40s. That's literally our demographic group. I look at the charts. I see y'all.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's all right. We'll be there one day. We're catching up fast.
I liked Miles Jury over Charles Oliveira a little more now. Might be a little off base.
So, fucking Nunez is like super good on the ground. She's more of a ground fucking roller. She'll grab a hold of you and whip your ass around.
Mm-hmm. But she takes her time.
She does.
If you look at the Felicia Spencer fight, if you look at the Jermaine fight, like she likes to take her time, and it's more of like this the George St. Pierre thing, where she doesn't want to risk anything, because when you risk it, that's when you lose. And she's ascended into the Mighty Mouse territory, where it's just like, can we even imagine? Like, we might shut down the featherweight division after. We might as well. Like, who else is left? Like, Megan Anderson is on the last fight of her contract. I found that out from Ariel Helwani today.
I didn't know
Megan, yeah, Megan is walking into a championship fight on the last fight of her contract.
That
so she
never
loses.
Lines up, man.
Snips, gone.
Yeah, that never lines up like that. That's crazy. She's got to win.
But Megan beats everyone else.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the point? What are we doing here?
Well, what do you mean, what's the point? What are we doing here? I guess the point is, I mean, has she fought Nunez yet? No.
No, but this is the end. Like, this is when we were talking about Mighty Mouse, where it's like, are they about to send the entire flyweight division to ONE FC?
I think so.
Just put all the flyweights in a box and
Maybe.
send them for Ben Askren?
Maybe.
I mean, that's essentially what happened.
I don't know that.
Dude,
like, they took Makovsky and they took, Mighty Mouse, and they just shipped them to other organizations. Then Funky Ben Askren came in.
Speaking of Mighty Mouse, do you remember when Johnny Knoxville and Mighty Mouse had the boxing match in the fucking jewelry store? And Mighty Mouse just boxed the fucking shit out of him, and he got his head split wide open. He's bleeding all over the carpet.
Dude, at least it was better than when he did the Butterbean one.
Oh no! Yeah, with Butter.
Scary.
That was when they were in like Japan or whatever. And
oh, that was scary.
He like clapped his head off the corner of the fucking counter.
Oh.
Dude, that was insane. That was actually really bad, dude.
I'm getting lightheaded thinking about it, but
Johnny
it's like
Knoxville is such a. He just fights like the fucking heavyweight champion. Just. Butterbean's like, hit me right here. Knoxville's like, okay, and punches him, and then Butterbean just fucking.
So one of the things that we haven't touched on yet is this is in Vegas,
yes.
Which is the tiny cage.
Yep.
And that's not going to go well for Megan.
Just because Nunez can get closer and grapple.
Yeah. So do you remember the Sandhagen versus Eljo fight?
Yes.
Where Eljo jumped off the cage and just strangled him in a minute.
Yep.
Tiny cage.
Well. Do you think Megan's going to allow herself to be in a position where she can jump off the cage and get strangled?
She's 6'1", so there's a lot of limb.
I mean, there's a lot of fucking punching motion, too, that she can get in. I mean, she has a longer reach than Nunez.
She does, but her defense is too savvy. She might be a little too quick. So we'll see what Megan can do, but I mean, minus 1100 is about right. I mean, we're also getting into this point where, to play devil's advocate, and I even hate saying that, but it's like no one thought Anderson was going to lose to Chris Weidman.
No.
Like, I remember, talking to friends and all sorts of people where it was like, Weidman, I guess he wrestles better. Anderson Jiu-Jitsu will nullify that, and you're like, oh, well, Weidman will bring his lunchbox to work, and he'll put a workman-like performance on Anderson. That was enough. And Megan could do it. I mean, I was lifeguarding, and Ben Rothwell and I would talk about it. And Rothwell used to love sitting in the hot tub and then holding his breath underwater in the deep end of the pool. And Rothwell was telling me, like, there was no way, like, there's Anderson's the greatest. Expect Anderson for the next 3 years. There's no one in the division. And, yeah,
How'd
I mean,
that go?
that's kind of what we echoed for the Nunez
Yeah. Yeah.
talk. But, yeah, I mean, the other thing is Nunez just had a kid.
What?
Well, she didn't have a kid, but her partner had a kid. Nina.
Okay.
Nina had a child.
I was
but like,
dude, I was like,
ah,
she just gave birth? Like, and then
No.
what? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. This
no.
is dude, you almost
oh yeah, almost broke.
the stroke that I almost had right now.
But even then, like, you don't have to like physically birth the child to like
No,
ask young
but
parents everywhere how their sleep is.
No, I just thought you meant like
Yeah.
she physically gave birth and she's now gonna go in the fucking cage. Like,
No.
Jesus, girl, you've been through battle. You did it. You fought the good fight. I don't know
Test tube
anything
babies.
more painful than having to shove a kid out your crotch. Like, that would be the worst.
Test tube babies.
I mean,
Crazy.
we could try it. We could
But-
instead. Yeah, why not?
But man, so then the third title fight, Jan versus Aljo.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, Jan has looked like a killer every single fight.
Peter Jan.
You
I like how
can't
there's-
bet against
I
that
like
guy.
how there's no E between the E and R. It's just
Bettor.
Peter.
But man, it's Aljo. Thing with Aljo is there's paths to victory. Like, he has insane volume and he does have incredible grappling, but I think Jan is just too solid, too strong.
Am I reading this right? The money line is minus 115 on both of them and minus 120 and 110 on the over/under.
Yeah, Vegas can't make heads or tails of this thing, and I can't either. I favor Jan, but I have no idea how this goes down because we've seen Aljo get stopped in like 30 seconds before.
Yeah.
We've seen him get scalped by Marlon Moraes. And we've seen Jan go long with guys like Uriah Faber. So that's why the 3.5. They want to see this go into championship rounds. They just don't know how far. But, I mean, Aljo hasn't gone championship rounds. I have no reason to suspect that his cardio will give out.
Right.
But
Well,
it's this is a really weird style matchup.
I think Jan's got it. That's
I'm
my opinion.
inclined to believe that.
I think Jan's got it. That's my opinion on that fight.
Mhm.
I'm not betting on that fight, but if I were to, it would be Jan.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to think that Aljo's going to hurt him on the feet. And that's really where my like gut feeling is I think Jan has a lot of ways to hurt Aljo, and Aljo has like, he can get him with the volume over 5 rounds, or he can grapple him to death.
Right.
But even with grappling, you can only grapple for 3 rounds. You can't grapple for 5 rounds.
No, absolutely not.
You can't grapple
Can you
for 5
imagine
rounds.
the burn in your fucking arms after?
It never works.
It's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen, dude. I don't know a single fighter that could grapple for 5 rounds.
No, I mean Habib maybe, but even
For 5 rounds?
Even he stood up against Ali Aquinta and just decided to box against Aquinta.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about 5 fucking whole rounds of pure ground, dude.
But what else? You know, looking further down the card, we got Drew Dober versus Islam Makhachev, and Islam, cousin of Habib. This is in a lot of ways the Habib Gaethje mirror match, where Drew Dober trains with Gaethje and Habib is cousins of Islam. So it's the mirror match. But yeah, so I'm inclined to think Islam, but this is a big step up in competition.
I mean, well, first of all, Vegas has got Islam at a minus 345 and an over/under at 2.5 rounds, dude. I mean, it's not like they're...
That's just classic Vegas betting on the Russian. Like, they see a V in the name, they're like, this guy's it. Like, there's this...
I mean, it's not a bad strategy. The Russians have been doing pretty
Especially as of
goddamn great. It's not a bad strategy. I mean, those dudes, man... I don't know. I know a Russian who's told me enough stories about the Russian mafia and the shit that Russians have been through with it. What was that?
Yeah, I mean, if you just objectively took guys with V's and Z's and Amish beards in the UFC, you'd be set. Like, you could probably pay off a house. Like, Like, as long as they have the beard too, you have to have the square beard.
Exactly, and it's got to look good because that means that they care too much. And if they care about their beard like that, they care about their training like that.
But this is when we had the UFC Africa card.
Yep.
Right, when we were that podcast, we were talking. Like Toto was playing in the background.
Yep.
Like we've had guys. Yeah, we've had guys from AKA that are just botched prospects, like Darren Wynn, Zubaira Tahugov, Liam McGeary over at Bellator. Like these guys, you have Daniel Cormier on every podcast saying these guys are world champions. These guys can't be defeated, and they just lay eggs. And so it's interesting. I want to see where AKA is because this is a big referendum on that gym. Because without DC, without Kane, without Habib, without Luke Rockhold, what is this gym?
I mean, so are the fighters represented by the gym, or do they represent the gym? Like, what is it? How does that work?
Well, it's like Globo Gym from like Dodgeball, where it's like Globo Gym is the overhead banner, and then they have like kickboxers and they have MMA guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. So it's kind of like if it's kind of like Team Kawasaki. They've got dirt bikes and ATVs and sleds and all sorts of shit. I get you.
Yeah, like Gaethje and Drew Dober. I believe their team name is Elevation. They're in Colorado.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And Rose Namajunas trains out of there too. A ton of Curtis Blades. Do
you think that they're better because they have such a high altitude? Do you think that they have better oxygen saturation when they come down to Vegas?
I think it depends. Everything that I've read and understand, you have to live there or sleep with it.
That's what I mean.
It's like you're like sleeping in like a hyperbaric chamber.
But wouldn't they be
once you're gone for 2 weeks, it's pretty much cooked. The best example of it in the UFC was the Mexico City card between Werdum and Kane, where you have Cardio Kane.
Yep.
Right, can't be beat, can't be stopped. Gets stopped in the 3rd round by Werdum. And Werdum trained in the mountains in elevation in Mexico City, 88,000 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
For 3 months.
Hold on, I want to see what the oxygen level is up there compared to ground level. 88,000.
I actually hope I'm doing this by like tenfold. It's 8,000 feet above sea level, not 80,000, because that would be insane.
What was his name?
But
say the fighter's name again.
Werdum and Kane. It's in Mexico City. But Werdum was training there for 3 months and then just comes off the mountaintops and just strangles Kane in the 3rd. And I think it's got to be 8,000. There's no way it's 80,000. But
8,500, brah.
What is it?
8,500. 8,500.
Okay, good. All right. Whew. All right.
But let's see what that oxygen saturation is quick, because it's still
madness.
Yeah. Fucking.
Yeah, you're fighting with a straw in your mouth, like just trying to breathe through a straw. But the next fight on the card, we got Rakic and Thiago Santos, and this is a big fight for Alexander Rakic. I think he's the better talent, and not when I mean talent, I mean he's better at determining the range. Like he's more mature in his skills as a striker, where Thiago's like a total bull.
So basically, compared to other fighters, you would be getting only 14.8 efficiency of oxygen, where you would get 21.9 efficiency down here. So you lose about 5% efficiency of your oxygen.
Which means everything.
So
we can talk about 5%, but like the 2% dehydration.
Anything above 7,000 goes up exponentially. So like it's like 21.9. 21.1, 19.9.
Oh, and Kane showed up the week of the fight.
And then you get to 7,000, it's like 16, 15, 14. Like it just drops drastically.
Well,
so like if he goes,
Kane shows up the week of the fight, cutting weight, like what? Just shows up, kind of out of shape. But going back with the Rakic fight, it's kind of like the Rakic is a lot like Gon from last week, where he does everything at a really, really high level, but you can't pin what he's really best at, so you just call him a striker with a good jab.
I guess.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what he can do with Santos. But Santos is like, I think he's 37 years old. 37 years old and 2 knee replacements.
Oh,
that's tough.
Oh my God.
That's not a lot of athletes can get over that.
I've had knee surgery, and I feel it every day of my life. I never even had one replaced.
But yeah, I mean, the problem with Santos is he's had like a lot of problems with grapplers, like especially with Glover and with Eric Spicely, the initial big L on his record. So yeah, I mean, with the blown out knees and a guy who can grapple really well, a guy who took Anthony Lionheart Smith to task, and that dude's the best grappler. So yeah, it's interesting, but the real juice on the card, and this is what we're going to hear to talk about. Most excited. Dominic Cruz at plus 105 to Casey Kenny. We are taking that home. We are betting everything on Cruz.
I'm not betting everything on Cruz.
Oh, we're betting everything.
I don't know. You can. I will put...
It's everything.
He's at a fucking... Okay.
You see this? This is Baby Yoda.
I see him.
Baby Yoda is up for grabs if Dominic Cruz loses.
So if he loses, I get him? Or who gets him?
I don't know. Somebody gets him.
I'll take him. If you lose, I get him.
But yeah, I cannot imagine without Dominic Cruz slipping on his own 2 feet.
No, that's a good fight to even pay. It's a plus 105 and an over under of 2.5. Like, you're obviously gonna do the fucking. I would put money on the plus 105 on the money line.
Well, Cruz just lost to who? Henry Cejudo, the Olympic champ, Triple C. And now he's fighting Casey Kenny, the guy who's a podcast extra.
Yeah, basically.
On Sean O'Malley's podcast, talking about how they would do heroin. Like,
oh man.
Yeah, I'm really not big on Casey Kenny. He's got a good low kick, I guess. But no, listening to Cruz, and Cruz has always been a sharp talker, and he's always been like a mind of MMA.
Yeah.
But I think that does go a long way, and Cruz should be able, if he's healthy, he's going to style on Kenny.
Well, and that's a good opportunity. If let's say you're just getting into betting, just put $10 on Cruz and just see where it gets you. Why not?
Yeah.
It's a good time just to try it out.
Yeah, that's the one. But the other thing is, like, look at Kenny's record. Like, that guy's finished nobody. Like, what, he's just gonna knock out Dominic Cruz? Like, Henry Cejudo had to kick him in the head. Like, literally punt him. Like, Dom doesn't go out easy. Cody Garbrandt beat him, knocked him down like 4 or 5 times. Like, you're not taking this kid out.
Okay, well, what about Askarov?
That's a really interesting fight.
Because this is another fight where he's at a minus 125 and Joseph is at a minus 105 where Vegas can't make up their minds again.
Yeah, well, Joseph is nicknamed Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Like,
because
that for,
king
a reason.
Yeah.
And the problem is he might be washed. He's taken some severe beatings from the champ, Figueiredo, and you might not be able to recover from those.
I say.
So
I'm going on Askar, personally.
This has pass written all over it for me. I don't like this at all.
I'm putting $5 on Askar.
Yeah, I mean, look at you with the Vegas parlay. You see the V in the name, you can't help yourself.
It's right up the street. I'll go poison some food, make sure I win.
Yeah, oh my god.
I'm kidding for all the FBI people listening.
But what else? In the world of MMA news, it looks like it's going to be Kamaru Usman, Jorge Masvidal, coaches on The Ultimate Fighter, fighting in September. That's what it sounds like. That is what I believe Luke Thomas has said it, and Ariel and DC were talking about it today. And that's what we were talking about. It was all up to Jorge, what Jorge wanted to do. And the rematch, if it makes dollars, makes sense.
Man, I'm reading some of your notes here at the bottom after we're done talking MMA, and I am very thrilled for that.
Oh yeah, we've got all sorts of things to talk about.
I'm like down here. I'm like, what the fuck is going? What happened?
Yeah, the notes took a turn. So it's like I'm doing notes for the fight that happened this past weekend, and there is just decisions left and right. Like I'm not particularly hyped on anyone going forward, so I'm thinking like, what are we doing other than MMA to fill this lull? You know, there are no movies out right now, just a lot of television,
a lot of jerking off.
Wow. You get a sponsorship,
right? We could be like Rogan and get the Fleshlight to sponsor us.
Oh really? I was thinking like the ad
episodes.
for Blue Chew. You're like,
no.
You need to furiously for hours on end.
Oh
Same
god.
active ingredients.
Well,
But
so you're watching
yeah, so
WandaVision and shit? Well, I've never seen it.
wow. So I'm a big Marvel head guy.
I do enjoy
So
Marvel. It is good shit.
yeah, so in particular, I went back and watched Phase One, which is, so they have it in three phases, right? And Infinity War was the end of Phase Three.
Right.
But I went back and watched the OG Iron Man.
Yeah.
Outstanding movie.
It's great. It's excellent.
Outstanding.
It's great.
I remember watching that as like a kid and thinking like it was kind of cheesy, kind of, whatever, actiony. But no, like in the hindsight, I have seen so many garbage superhero movies that I see the original Iron Man. I'm like, wow, this is fantastic.
I like how they actually turned it into like a real world situation where he's an arms dealer, and obvious. I mean, we know Raytheon, the current Department of Defense head is Raytheon, so we know where they get their money from. But like, if you're a government contractor like Tony Stark was, and you get your ass caught up in the Middle East in a cave for like a year and a half, and you got to fight your way out, like you probably would do the same shit he did, like where you're like, oh, I don't like making bombs for everyone anymore, and I'll just make these suits and shit, like. He did, like, the way that they were able to turn like fantasy into like a possible real world scenario. Like, it didn't go directly into the bullshit like a lot of the DC movies
Right.
do. Like, DC is like, yeah, then Batman came around the corner. It's like, where the fuck did Batman come from? Like, you have to,
Oh, dude, don't get me started.
like shit like that.
We're doing this already.
Hold on,
I'm in
hold on,
caps lock
hold
on
on.
the Justice League.
Hold on. What I'm saying, is that they like DC has to like almost insinuate how it happened, and you need to make up in your mind, like you have to fill in the hole as to how the real world gets to Gotham City. Where in Marvel, it's like no, he obviously got captured by terrorists, and we've seen Americans get captured by terrorists and ransomed off and shit. Like so it takes the real world situation, especially during the time when America just hated them some Muslims. During that time the movie came out. So, when he's in the Middle East burning up the cities and shit, Americans were like flocking to the theaters to watch it.
Oh man! But aside from like
can I
Marvel,
pause real quick? I gotta get a drink of water.
Yeah.
I forgot to grab one. Sorry guys, be right back.
yeah,
We're back. We got water, and yep, we're back. What were we talking about?
we were saying the Kansas City Chiefs over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dominic Cruz over Casey Kenny.
You guys are ridiculous.
That's exactly what we were talking about. But no, we were talking about just the, when we're doing this week after week, and not every card's a winner, and we're lucky that this card is a winner, and we don't get many of these.
Right. No, that's for sure.
I mean, the last one I'm thinking about, the T.J. Dillashaw Garbrandt fight, the Rose Joanna, and then the Bisbing fight with GSP. Like, was that the last time they did 3 titles? Like,
I
maybe?
think so.
I don't even remember the last time.
I
they
think
put up
3 titles was a long time ago, dude.
It's been a long
I don't
time. But it's like,
Hi.
when we have these very long stints of just nothing, where we're looking at like one heavyweight fight, and we're like, I guess there's value on this card. Like, what else are we doing with our time? And man, the 4-hour Justice League Snyder cut. If we have to talk about media,
Wait.
what do you
Is
mean?
it
Wait?
that's a real thing?
In, I believe, the middle of March. I think it's March 16th. I could be wrong.
I didn't even know that.
It could be in May.
Damn.
But 2 extra hours on an already terrible movie.
Yeah, it's the Justice League was
movie.
good as a cartoon, but that's about as far
And
as it
I'm
went.
looking at these interview notes, and they're like, it was a very powerful moment to put Superman in a black and white suit. And I'm like, was it really a powerful moment for you guys?
Was there momentum behind the suit for you?
We needed 2 hours of script.
We really no. We needed to pay all those people millions of dollars to write shit because the West Coast likes that. Literally, it comes down to
Jared Leto's Joker needed to have an end, and I'm like, no, it never had a start.
No, it didn't. The DC universe doesn't have a beginning, an end, or a middle. It's just things happen, and you get a movie every once in a while. The shit doesn't correlate.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Phoenix is by far the best Joker. Like, I mean, we can talk about Heath Ledger versus Phoenix and stuff, but
no, you are 100% right.
The thing with Heath Ledger is it's like somebody's got to take some responsibility for that man's suicide. Like, somebody really has to, like, understand. Like, that guy rented out a floor of a hotel, and he was living by himself, and you just show up, and you're like, oh, well, you know, Ledger's just going crazy. He's a method actor. And
that shit drives me nuts, like, man. It happens all the time.
Nobody was doing wellness checks on him. No. Like, nobody was like, hey, Heath, you want to, like, go out to dinner? Like...
Dude, that's how... That is my problem with humanity in general. You can give everything you are to someone else. You can really bust your ass and give them the life that they've always wanted. And the minute that they have the life they want, you're over. They don't care about you anymore. They're done. They have what they want from you, and you're done. Heath gave them what they wanted. The best Joker in history. That's all they wanted from him. They're done with him. That is how human nature works. It is. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Think about any time that you've really...
Well, it's disappointing.
Well, just think about any time a friend's reached out to you.
Supposed to be him.
Right. Well, just think about the time that someone's reached out to you, a friend, you helped them really get through it, and then afterwards they start catching an attitude with you. It's like, excuse me, you know, and that's exactly what happened.
Like, I mean, yeah. I mean, I've got this can get personal real quick, but
well, it is. Well, I mean, a guy doesn't kill himself because things didn't get personal for him.
Well,
you know.
Yeah. But
it happens in the sports league.
I'm seeing like all the justification of why they need 2 hours in this Justice League movie. They're like, what we really need to do is flesh out Cyborg's origin story. It's like, wait, why are we doing this? Like, why is HBO doing this? Especially because HBO has done the Tom and Jerry movie that came out this past week that I loved and watched. Judas and the Black Messiah. They had Ballers on
Ballers was great.
Totally addicted to.
That was a good show.
But they've got the Godzilla vs. Kong movie coming up. They've got Mortal Kombat coming up. Like, these are all hitters, and we're just gonna waste our time with this Justice League movie. Like, I know. I'm on a rant.
I believe...
This podcast quickly turned into superheroes.
No. I believe that my cat is currently shitting somewhere in my house. I'm gonna take a quick pause break here and just go make sure, because there's a scent in the air, and I think I know where it's coming from. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Turns out my cat did shit in the bathtub, so that's the update. That's the update. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. I haven't really been watching a whole lot of shit, honestly. Like, I'm even like trying to cancel my cable. Like, I only wanted internet when I moved here. I made it very clear to my provider. I'm like, all I want is just internet, because I have like Netflix, Hulu, all that shit. I can get that. And they're like, oh, we only offer cable lines with the internet. So you have to have
and they try to tell you, like, it's actually cheaper for you if you pay them an extra $30 a month. And you're like, how is an extra $30 a month cheaper?
So I'm like in an
wait, how am I saving money here?
Yeah, I'm canceling, I'm getting rid of Cox for Starlink, because it's, like, literally going to save me $110 a month.
Yeah. But the one thing that I am very proud to say is I have not gotten addicted to murder documentaries. You can't go through a Netflix top 10 without seeing 4.
Do you want to know what bothers me about that? I was the weird kid my whole life for liking the shit. And now it's like the most mainstream, everyone's talking about murder and all that. I'm like, fuck all of you. When I was like, hey, did you guys hear about the serial... Oh, why are you talking about serial killers, dude? That's weird. Who talks about that? Apparently everyone. The whole fucking world, I guess.
Right. It's water cooler conversation now.
It's like when I would wear my hunting clothing in like school, because like it was what I wore for a winter jacket, and people would make fun of me for wearing that, and then like suddenly being a hick was in. Everyone was super country and everyone was wearing like Under Armour camo and like designer boots. It's like, fuck all of you.
Lil Nas came in.
Fuck all of you. Seriously, fuck all of you. And if I could call you by name, I would. Oh my god. It drives me nuts, man. People are such slaves to trends. I've been wearing the same shit since like 3rd grade, man. Sports t-shirt, khaki shorts, and a fucking hat. Same
by the way,
shit.
I see the Tennessee shirt over there. Nashville, stand up.
Your boy went to Nashville. And by the
You
way,
bought a guitar, didn't you?
shout out.
You
No,
bought a guitar, didn't you?
no, I've had a guitar since like 2000, dude. This guitar is older than the hills, man. This thing's old, man. It's old. I don't even think the company exists anymore. It's in Indiana. It's old, dude. I don't even think that company exists. It was a cheap ass guitar. Cause I'm moving everywhere. It gets banged up like a motherfucker. I've got stickers on the back. It's just whatever.
But
it was a good trip, dude. Shout out to the Titans staff, dude. They were so nice to me. They gave me a quick little peek in the stadium when no one else was allowed in, and it was cool. They were cool.
That's dope. But man, the other thing that's like, I'm not even guilty saying it, but Mario games are killer right now.
Yeah,
they're the best.
Yeah, Mario games always.
I'm stunned.
They always have been. Name a time you played Mario Party and didn't have a good time.
It's like, and not only that, but the reskins, and not only like the fan service is incredible, but I'm playing like new Super Mario Bros, which has like the original, like everyone knows World 1 by heart.
Right.
Like every single person knows you stomp that Goomba that's trapped in the first jump.
Yep.
Like it's right there, and the graphics on the 4K television. Like I feel like I'm such a boomer, where it's just like, dude, these Mario games are so in. Like, what's going on?
Well,
like Mario Odyssey.
Did you know that?
What's going on?
Do you know how Nintendo got its start?
I mean, it took me, like, I saw a picture this past weekend where Pokemon was called Pocket Monsters, and I was like, oh, geez.
Who said that?
Yeah. That's what it was originally was Pocket Monsters.
Oh, I thought you meant someone's, like,
Pokemon.
I get you. Yeah. Okay. No, Nintendo was actually because a businessman was supposed to be in Japan doing business meetings, and he went over there and fucked around all the time instead. And when he was supposed to like report back to his boss, he literally had nothing. So he found this guy's idea, which was Nintendo, didn't look a second into it, and just fucking faxed it over as the world's best idea. And now, he lucked out more than anyone has lucked out on the planet. You absolutely picked the best idea out there by sheer coincidence.
But, man, I mean,
good old Ben Franklin.
The Bowser Fury game that just came out, excellent.
What is that for? Switch?
Yeah, it just came out. It's actually a reskin of like a Wii U game, apparently. But whatever. Like, man, I was playing Luigi's Mansion, the third one, and did you ever play it on the GameCube?
Of course.
Yeah, so they made every single mansion like a triple decker mansion.
Oh.
So the floors all get scrambled, but I remember playing it, and like the nostalgia, man, it could make a grown man cry.
Dude, it just I mean, it's because you're finally playing a game where you aren't like fucking mowing down a fucking city or dropping bombs on people. I mean, you could only kill so many people in Call of Duty before you're like, all right, man, this is getting way too close to like going to high school for me. Like, too many bullets being shot around here.
Well, not only that, but it's just like I literally feel like my hands are sweating because I have to try so hard to just not get murked at every single corner.
Your brain neurons are firing faster than they were in college.
Yeah. But even like a game like Last of Us, I'm really struggling to play Last of Us on the PlayStation because it's legitimately too stressful.
I've never played it.
So you are a teenage girl in the zombie apocalypse. Your dad gets billy clubbed to death in front of you, and you have a pregnant girlfriend. Things are a little stressful.
Things are a little out of control.
Things are a little stressful. Like I'm just supposed to come home, unwind after work.
And you got to take care of your pregnant girl while your dad gets smashed in the fucking head by a club. No, that's a little rough.
They're zombies outside. Yeah, this is great.
That's a little rough. That's a little rough. Well, I played the only zombie game I ever played was Days Gone, and it's because my roommate left the disc in my PS4 when we moved out of the house. And I keep asking him if he wants me to mail it back to him, and he's like, yeah, dude. I'm like, what's your address? And then it's like, red. I never get it, so I don't know. I'm keeping it. I don't know. Sorry, dude. If you want it, if you're listening, if you want it, dude, you better send me your address, because I'm almost done with the game, dude. It's a good game.
That does bring me to the game I just finished and sent me on this Mario bender, which is Ghost of Tsushima. I played that on the PlayStation. Incredible.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Probably the best PlayStation game I've ever played.
That sounds very Japanese.
It is.
Okay. Tsushima is a name.
It's a name of an island that was conquered by the Mongols. One of Genghis Khan's grandsons conquered it.
Yeah, well,
And,
Genghis Khan was kind of a dickhead, wasn't he?
you play this samurai, and you start out. So there are stances that you fight in, and the first stance you fight in is really rudimentary and it's super hacking. And then by the fourth stance you get, it's really wavy, and you're throwing spin kicks, and you're like grabbing dudes' shields and stabbing them with tiny knives. And it shows like the transition of like samurai to ninja, which is kind of cool. It's like, but the big move, the pro gamer move, is playing in black and white with the red blood, and that is sick if you've got like an OLED TV.
Dude, you know what I'm not gonna lie to you about, because I just saw you wrote this down here too. With it getting nicer out, like being outside and being active again feels so goddamn good, especially after this quarantine.
Oh, man.
Especially after like you get arrested for going outside, like just the little things, man, of just being able to use your fucking legs. Like, I feel like I'm a quadriplegic sometimes in this fucking quarantine. Like, you can't go to the gym, you can't get your hair cut, you can't run outside, you can't do anything. Here on the West Coast, at least.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my neck of the woods in the Midwest, the big problem is just the slush. So, like, it's warm, like, it's 40, but there's also, like, a foot of snow that hasn't melted yet.
Yeah, so it's just wet.
You can't run anywhere because it's either muddy, and, you know, I don't want to get muddy because I'm a little girl, or it's slush, and you're guaranteed to break your ankle.
Did you just
But
assume
I was able to
gender?
run this morning, and it was glorious. Like, did a quick 1.5 mile run at 4:30 in the morning. Like, oh my god, I went to work hyped.
You know who I'm super proud of? Bert Kreischer. He runs 5 miles a day. He's really trying to lose his weight. Like, he's really trying to lose weight. He has ran 5 miles a day every day since January 1st, and like absolutely does not stop. Last year he ran 2 miles every day, every single day of the week from January 1st to December 31st. Like, he really does want to lose weight. Like, that, for everyone, like, he was so fat for such a long time. I think he's just tired of it. I think also his doctor was like, hey man, your organs are shutting down. There's also that.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's
drinks like more
was
than
drinking
anyone.
like handles of vodka.
Well, that's always my problem with like a fully grown adult who just can't seem to fucking give it up. It's like, you need to grow up a little bit. Like, if you're if you're in your 40s and you're drinking like you did in college, it's fucking time to chill out. It really is.
Well, it ain't cute. That's for sure.
It does not. It's not a good look. It's just not a good look.
But
the only reason, like, I don't think he understands that the only reason he has a family is because he has money. Like, if he was just a guy like looking like that, like if he worked at a plant or something, he would be the most single ass guy on the plant. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
yeah, I mean, I definitely have no idea about the state of that guy's family. But what I do know is we need to do another podcast
Very
before Saturday.
southern wife. Very southern. She's super nice.
I'm sure she is. But we have to do another podcast before Saturday.
I love Bert. He's a good guy. I'm just shitting on him at the same time. You want to do a podcast Friday?
Yeah, let's do one Friday after the weigh-ins.
Okay.
Let's because as we've talked about, like, man, COVID is so crazy. Like, there'll be guys standing in the ring and their opponent won't walk out.
Yeah.
You know, at Chaz Skelly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also will give me more time to really get my ear to the ground and figure out what the pros are thinking. I like to, you know, there are some guys in the game that I like to kind of figure out what they're thinking.
Get you
and
some
then
time
that kind
to
of
play.
helps with my own thoughts.
Get you some time to play Destiny and Call of Duty and Battlefield and the likes.
Oh, don't, dude. No, I'm far too old for that.
I don't know, man. I think it's true that you become an adult when you unfollow Barstool Sports and you start playing games other than COD. That's when you become an adult. That is it.
Yep.
It's not when you turn 18.
And you start realizing the value on Dominic Cruz over Casey Kenny. That's the mark of a man.
That's all you know. That's all you need to know.
That's it, dude.
How's the fam doing, dude? Anyway, it's like how's everyone doing by you?
Everyone, doing on keeping on.
Good. Well, he and I
You
both
know.
have children. We have cats, so those are our kids.
Yes, yes. I closed the door, to
Oh,
keep
so
them
they're
out of
not.
here because
Yeah.
oh, dude, the cat will surf across the laptop.
I know. When I logged in the other day and I just like sat down, your camera turned on. It's just your cat staring at me in the fucking video. Just
Dude, yeah, she knows. Like, and so Holly, the gray one,
yeah,
that is always on my computer.
yeah.
She's been attached to us. We got her at 2 days old. And we found her. A friend of ours, a girl that my girlfriend worked with, found her in the backyard after a thunderstorm
Oof.
on Labor Day weekend. And we're like, I guess we won't let this cat die.
Right.
And got the formula milk, took the cat to the vet, fed it every 2 hours for 8 weeks. And
Oh my God. You had to get up at night every 2 hours?
every 2 hours, Kate and I would take turns.
Oh my God.
And the cat is fully attached.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, don't leave for a weekend with attached cats. Don't do it. Bad news. Bad things happen to good people. I came home to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think no. This would be 10. 10 piles of cat shit. There was
Oh
two
my God.
on my hockey bag. On my fucking hockey bag. They're angry. They were angry that I left. Because when I come home, I have a picture of them using the litter box. They know exactly where they have to shit, but they were pissed off that I wasn't home for 3 days. So they shit on my carpet, on my couch, on my chair, on my bed, on my fucking mat when I get out of the shower. Like everything that I love, they shit on. And like that they really wanted me to be aware that they didn't appreciate me leaving.
It sucks that you have that problem because I've never had that problem.
It's very bad.
I have the problem like I go to put my shoe on in the morning and there's like a toy in the toe.
I would much rather have that. That's not a problem.
Yeah. No, it's not a problem. It's actually adorable. I
That's
love it.
cute. That's almost
Yeah, it's
something I would
great.
like having happen to me. This is coming home and my
It's great.
entire apartment smells like the fucking mud trough at the farm.
Never in my life did I think I would own cats.
I don't think anyone
And,
who has cats thought they were going to own cats, and then it just kind of happens. Cats kind of choose you. You don't really get a choice. Oshi kind of came into my life where I was at my friend's house, and they're telling me about this lady with Alzheimer's that she knows, and she has like this starving cat that needs a home and all this shit, and I'm like, fuck. All right, like I guess I can watch her, and maybe I can find someone for her. And 5 years later, oh, she's sleeping on my bed. She's still here, and then the place calls, hey, do you have any room for another cat? No, but I'll come pet her, just check her out. And here she is, 3 years later, laying behind me. So, what do you do?
Oh yeah, I mean, if I open that door right now, this cat will run through this room like Godzilla through Chinatown or Tokyo. I'm sorry, like legitimately run through this place, and it will like, dude, it would be like Mardi Gras and the brass band
Do you keep
showed
them?
up to town.
Do you like put them in a room at night, or do you let them run around?
Oh, they run around,
Okay.
but one of my cats, my big man, he's about 20 pounds. At his 1 year checkup, we brought him in. He was 16 pounds after 1 year.
Damn.
And we're like, Jesus Christ. And the vet told me that he was probably going to grow to be in the mid-20s and that he's totally healthy. Like, his weight's fine. Like, he's going to get much bigger. And I'm, like, having a panic attack about it because I got sold a panther.
Because I got sold a panther.
I got sold a panther. But, yeah, he sleeps on top of my head,
Yeah.
which is great.
It's with thunder.
And then my other cat will sleep on the headboard. So we have a headboard against the bed, and
Yeah.
the other cat will do like an all fours prowl.
Yeah. No, I have Thunder lays like on my chest and Oshi lays by my legs, and I can't move. Otherwise, they wake up and look at me like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He gave you a look like, "Are you shitting me? You just moved. I'm sleeping."
Oh, but man, there's nothing better than waking up and just having a purring cat
I
next to you.
know. I
Oh
know.
God, there is nothing
know,
better
just
than
wake up to
waking up
love.
just ready for the day.
Just fucking. Oh my god. Just fucking. Oh, I love him. I love him. And we realized the other day the difference as to why some people really just don't like cats, and it's because you have to like mutually respect your cat for them to like you or to respect you at
Just
all.
people with control issues.
Like if you feel you're gonna control your cat, I got news for you. It's not gonna happen. You've got more of a roommate than anything. Like you've really got more of a roommate that you have to take care of. That's honestly what it feels like.
Who's going to take the eye out? Is the cat going to take your eye out, or are you going to take the cat's eye out?
Well, if you take out the cat's eye, the cat will kill you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people understand. Cats, like, even small cats, they can fuck you up, man.
Bomb on you.
They can fuck you up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got scars on my hands.
I've got scars from just playing with the cats. Not even, like, they weren't even mad. They were just playing with me. And it's like, oh, I'm bleeding. Oh, God. Oh, God.
But
is that it? Is that everything?
I think that's it, and then we'll discuss on Friday. I'll do some film study, maybe a little more educated of a podcast.
All right, this is Better Life. Check us out. We're downloaded on every platform: YouTube, Spotify, everything. Patreon.com/JakeRiderComedy. All proceeds for this will get shared with Paul as well. And I don't think I have anything else. Oh, pay-per-view is on April 17th. If you don't buy tickets, it's because you lick scrum. Otherwise, I think that's it. See you later.